allowing me to unmute. Namaskaram, namaskaram. I must congratulate the logistics company TPS, Logistics and Air Freight Express Limited Chairman Prashant Singh. And I must be thankful to my sister Pooja Singh for initiating this invitation and then allowing me to share my views on a great topic which is of high importance today. I was asked to speak approximately 30 minutes. I have jotted down few. I'm an academician basically, so we collect information and think slightly ahead of what can and how it is to be used in academics as well as in the industry. So this is what I have done. So innovative ideas, practical solutions, focusing on what ChatGPT can provide for such a company which has got a beautiful slogan. I was going through the website and saw delivering smiles all around. It's such a beautiful message. The innovation to the world over and over happens from the time immemorial, probably in the industrial revolution, knowledge revolution, and now today is the transformational revolution time. Why I call it as 3, 2, 1? Because people talk about centuries, but today world is moving much faster. You can't talk about centuries. We will have to talk about decades. That's why I call it as 3, 2, 1. So because we are going to discuss about the latest trends, innovations, strategies specific to the logistics industry, how the industry leaders, experts, professionals, and probably those who are in academics can look at this. I'm sure when I looked at the website, like anyone could realize, any logistic industry today looks at the international services. And definitely I'm seeing the Pooja Singh's picture which shows that aircraft. So I'm sure it's not just international, the domestic, like ocean freight, air freight, whatever you have on the roads, rail. Biggest problem probably in such a place like India is like warehousing. And definitely we have to improve our warehousing, the construction, the logistic construction. How do we make the time-bound delivery? All these are listed in your website, but how much is it happening all across India? How well you can have a beautiful network so that you can expand it to the largest potential using the minimal effort. I'm sure you have got a great consulting process, which I have also seen, which talks about the supply chain model, networking, the packaging. We have got great institutes for packaging alone. We have got great institutes for the supply chain management. But all together in the context of the 3, 2, 1, probably in the ChatGPT, which is not very old. But if you are not going to be the forerunner, I'm sure you are going to lose the race. So new logistics setup planning in terms of consulting, what we should have is a collaborative approach between many ends, which already probably I'm sure in the TPS logistics company will have in view. The freight forwarding, door-to-door delivery. Yesterday what Amazon gave me was from the postal department. I was asking the postman who is delivering. Oh, now Amazon started delivering through postal departments. Yeah, because India has got the largest network of postal department, and tie-up will, I'm sure government will welcome it. Somebody has to push it ahead. So I'm sure you can use both government and the private as well as the people participation together to improve the situations around this world in the way you wanted that to happen. So the handling of the cargo, which is the major activity which the export import companies or maybe the logistics companies, the delivery boys to the chief of the industry looks at in a very potential, highly innovative techniques which can be used in this. So here I was very glad to see an initiative for enhancing the customer experience, leveraging the chatgpt, which is given as the title for the talk. How do you improve the customer services in the logistics? When we talk about, I was a professor of management long back. So during the time, I remember we always talk about 5M. One is money and material, man, mission, etc., market, and etc. So in this, the customer behavior is that what focus in the management system in terms of the human as M, the first M, man, mission is the technology management. So I'm sure if you can connect them together, the retail logistics, which has got a huge potential in the country like India or in the whole world, retail is the biggest one. But what is happening because of the logistics and the transportation is not reached up to the level in which it has to, the producer, either it can be an industry or a farmer, he is not getting the benefits. I'm sure the GDP of a country depends on these two factors. So I'm sure the logistic company has got a great extent to go to support these to the individual farmer or the industry concerned people, and more than that, to improve the GDP of the nation. I'm sure we are in the race for becoming the fourth, maybe the third or the fourth in the national, in the international race for the economy, the power of economy. The fourth industrial revolution talks about the great potential for India to grow in this extent. So the innovative, fast thoughts on these front from the company like Tej Logistics is really applaudable. How do we do the flexible, adaptable, smart, transformational tracking? How do we do this FAST? The word which I used together can be called as FAST. Flexible, adaptive, smart, transformational tracking, and use the, like what we have today, when we travel from one end to the other end, we use Google Map. Maybe 30 years, 40 years, 30 years back in my department, I started making similar maps for the strategic applications for the specific community using the satellite, because my job is from the satellite, look at the earth and then make maps. That was what fed me for 20 years in the government service. And very specific users. Now today it is open, everyone uses mobile phone to track and then follow the Google. So how is it getting updated? When you travel, we know this is the way to go from this place to this place, but I'm sure Google Map will give you alternate path, the speed, whether you have to pay at all, or online looking at the traffic, the speed of the other vehicles, it updates itself and then tell you, you can take the other alternate path, you will be 5 minutes early reaching your destination. This is what the power of technology today. I'm sure this technology driven, the rapid changing world, if you are not first and fast, the first, which I say, that forward thinking, innovative, resourceful, strategic teamwork, or maybe the fostering innovative, resourceful student, that togetherness of the people who are thinking in this line, your infrastructural resources stimulating transformation in a formative way, which also becomes FIST first. What are the great challenges? Definitely in the logistics company, as I understand from the theoretical point of view, the late or the missed deliveries, inaccurate tracking information, the poor communication and the customer support, the damaged or the lost shipments, inefficient return processes. I'm sure all these in the new technological era, instant and accurate it can be made with response to the customer's queries, because it's all online. You don't have to worry about people picking up phone and answering. So you can have computers answering this, and questions are almost common. So you can have such answering machines. So 24/7 availability of improved customer support is quite possible. The proactive notifications and updates of delivery status, SMS. Yesterday I was applying for a visa for UK, and immediately you have got an extra payment to be done for the SMS updates coming. So you can also make revenue out of it. So VFS does it in that mode. Yeah. And personalized recommendations for alternate solutions, like the Google map, which I'm mentioning now. Tell them what is that you have undertaken, where is that it can be, where you can pick up faster than delivering. Efficient handling of return processes and the issues can be easily done. Do we have such institutions in India? Probably I have got a lot of audience from the other part of the world. No, if not directly here, maybe tomorrow people will listen to this. In India, I'm basically a career and educational consultant also. And many people ask whether logistic company has got a great potential, great scope for job. I was looking at what are all the institutes in this context of suggesting students to opt for. I've seen there are no great institutes except for 3 or 4 or 5 maximum. I remember one of them is the Indian Institute of Logistics, which is in Chennai, and we have got Indian Institute of Foreign Trades, which is in Calcutta and Delhi. Yeah, and then we have got in Hyderabad the Center for Logistic and Supply Chain Management, but it is done by ISB, not as directly by any other institute. So these are all mostly private, except that Institute for Industries and Trade has got a government autonomous body which is governing it. The Center for Logistics and Transport Studies is being done by the Autonomous Public Institute under the Government of Education, that's in Bombay. And we have got Center for Excellence for Supply Chain Management, which is in Ahmedabad, which is also a collaboration between many people. We have got a beautiful setup in India where we have got a trade, we have got management institutes, different infrastructures, different private companies. All of them can join together to make a beautiful institute where the management and the technology goes together and then do a lot of research. Indian Institute of Logistics, where such conferences result in taking action for getting this into the people at the education level so that they will become industry ready by the time they pass out. So today what is happening is we want to have children learning in traditional way and then come out and then start hunting for job. They get into some institute and then start learning. Instead of that, we should have expertise institutions. This is one suggestion which I wanted to make. Probably we have to look at all the topics which we are now looking today for the conference can be the syllabus by itself, the transport management and operational supervisors, supervising them, looking at the offshore and supply base, managing the transportation. The supply chain management is a beautiful subject in which many of the MBA programs done abroad. But as an industry, as a practical internship programs, MBA programs in India, or maybe technology programs in India are very, very limited. The managing the road transport fleets are a big problem in India because India roads are not that great. So we need to look at what are all the problems, where are all the conjunctions available, where are all the problems existing, give this feedback to the government and tell them this is how you can make more money. Probably we can have different roads for only for freight. That can happen. Because that will have a lot of saving of time, material management, storage. If you wanted to get to the farmer's item and to the people and the users, I'm sure you need to have probably a different road for such delivery systems. And there are people who are ready to invest in this if they are guaranteed by a return on investment in a reasonably good time. And we are very good in this. If you have not seen the movies, if the people from other than India have not learned how the Bombay Dabbawala works, that is one of the best example without mistakes, or maybe one mistakes out of million deliveries is what happens. There is a beautiful cinema and there are documentaries available about the lunchbox, which is I think 10 years back. 2013 it got released, and we have got a lot of documentaries as well as a TEDx talk on the delivery system being applied by the lunchbox suppliers in the Bombay. Bombay Dabbawala. That is one of the greatest delivery systems, probably proved its success. Totally done manually without any technology. We have to learn the technological aspect, or maybe how this can be implemented in technology, so that people can do much better, much faster, much greater without any mistakes. The 24/7 delivery today, we have instant responses required, personalized assistance and recommendations on these are required, order of tracking and updates are required, frequently asked questions have to be put into some dabba so that people can look at it. The standard delivery, express delivery, same day delivery, international delivery, all these are what the air freight or ocean freight or road freight or rail transportation. How do all these together will give a satisfaction and loyalty to the customer? How the increased efficiency and productivity helps them to understand what great things can expect from a normal company. How do we do this in the cost-effective, saving, valuable data sharing across, so that we can use this for different companies all across? We have to showcase the real-world examples, success stories of different companies. This is where probably the data warehousing, the big data, all these can be contributory technologies for these companies. The highlights of the positive impact of customer engagement in the sales growth, the profitability, the personalized promotional offers and recommendations, or maybe the targeted campaigns of through emails, the social media, and maybe the feedback from the customer. Today we have, whether it's an authenticated customer, what are all the ratings, what they give, what are all the suggestions, what are all the complaints, the cost saving of the customer support operation, taking the revenue growth from the improved customer satisfaction to the returns, like a ROI, return on investment, which I'm talking about. A great Indian administrator like T.N. Sheshan, in his book on degeneration of India, I remember mentioned that it is not that great space technology what we require. He was our secretary in our Department of Space long back, or nor the nuclear technology, but what we want is how tomato can be preserved from the farmer reaching up to the customer, even if it is delayed for a week. We are a large country with 80% of the people live in the villages, and they're all agricultural oriented people. And we are not able to save. 1 month back, the tomato in Hyderabad city where I'm staying was 20 rupees, and it just raised up to 200 rupees. You can imagine in a month time, 10 times the price hiked. But the same tomato in Gulf, in Dubai, was constantly 60 rupees. So we are not able to control this fluctuation. So how do we control this fluctuation? By looking at the technological aspect today, supply chain management, blockchain management, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, Internet of Things, AR, artificial augmented reality, virtual reality. How the AI-led analytics for optimizing the supply chain management flow can be implemented with ease is the question what is to be understood. Is that people working in the company should know all this technology to do it? Or is it possible to make it very, very easy, approachable, user-friendly, and operational friendly? And how this digital transformation in the logistic company efficiently involving all the shareholders, making it a 360-degree logical, the logistic supply very, very, very smooth. How do you enhance the routing? How do you increase the efficiency? I need not know the technology part of it. I must be able to get it very fast. I remember long back in my post-graduation, we were learning about the transportation problem in the operation research, the statistics subject in 1984. The biggest problem is still active, but solutions are possible only when people use this technology to the greater extent. Otherwise, you will be hunting for your solutions and you will lose the race. The real-time tracking, updates, the interactive conversational assistance, the multilingual support for the customer, Today, it's a city with a lot of different language people together. Unless you can speak to their language, if you can understand the language of my customer and I can speak to them, I'm sure they will say, wow. So the seamless integration of all these between the company, between the delivery, between the industry, between the product, between the transportation, and the branding and your label. That is what probably the chat GPT can provide. The generative pre-trained transformer, the language model developed very recently. It's only November 30th, 2022, not even a year, using the natural language processing. The AI research development company, Open AI company, which is from a Stanford dropout person at the age of 38, the Samuel Harris Atman, has done a great wonder and has gifted a great wonder to the world. What is that we can offer? The streamlined communication between the retailer, business, and the logistics. How do we do this? Increased data, quota for you, usage, primary access, advanced features, customized fine-tuning, and dedicated support if you can buy from the chat GPT as a specialist, but not what is available in the common, in the open platform. There are viable special packaged items which are available today on chat GPT. And educate the customer support teams for utilizing chat GPT has to be done parallelly. Look at the technology, what is available, give the touch points and the customer interaction and integration of ChatGPT in your business at every point, every nodal points. Establish clear guidance. And with this, continuously monitoring the improved ChatGPT offers and performance by the data analytics, what they have taken and given for your company has to be upgraded and used very carefully. So real world examples for the business for successfully implementing ChatGPT needs the highlight improvements in the customer satisfaction is the prime. Share specific matrices and testimonials for what is that is to be given, so that as an input for ChatGPT, it will tell you where all the blocks where people have to look at a cleaning process. So collaborative approaches by potential collaborators like business people, retailers, logistic partners, all these people can give data and then can share. So you must make sure that my partners also use these chat GPT addressing the various challenges so that their inputs will become my supporting my better performance. So identify the points, the pain points, where are all the problems, where are all the prioritization required. Identify the specific points in which it is lost. The speed is lost, the technology is lost. Next one, identify the objectives. What is that clearly what we want when we wanted to use ChatGPT? Is it to achieve the implementation, including customer service, as I said, the response, communication, issue of resolving problems. Third one, probably what are all the solutions what ChatGPT can give, and which are all the different aspects and different open sources available where we can look at it and learn about it before deciding which option I have to use. Integrate the capacities and scalability, reliability, cost effectiveness. All these have to become a part of any buyer, any deliverable given by any vendor. This is what generally we look at it. And data collection and training is very essential. And look at the ChatGPT model in which how the training happens, how the utility happens, where we can do this, and integration with the existing systems. We cannot redo the whole thing. So slowly we will have to get them into the, that's why it's called a transformational process. No technology can directly replace the human aspect. So we must go this in tandem for some time, identify the channels, identify the models, the mobile model, apps, websites, social media, in which how people can slowly get into this. The quality assurance, very, very essential. Lot of test process have to happen, and monitor and optimize the usage. Some places where we have priority, we have to get into the technology first. No priority, probably we can take it up slightly later. But training and support, all of all the people should get, so that they will be ready, if not today, tomorrow, for aiding such factors. They will be ready emotionally and technologically. They will start updating themselves. This is what has to be done. The key performer indicators, what we call it as KPI in the standard of industry standards, has to be very thoroughly understood by collaborating the courier, logistics, partners, transporters, industry, customer, collaborating all of them together in a single chain, establish a regular communication channel. This is what is to be done. Several ChatGPT platforms are available or customized, integrated for logistics supply. What we can look at it is few of them. I will give only the names. Probably people have to look at it and understand how good they are. I only have few names which I know, because I keep looking at what industry needs, or probably what an academic activity happens in this world. So one is the dialogue flow by the Google Cloud. That can be very recently, the natural language processing engine is very powerful and it works fantastic. I've got a lot of students who are using it abroad in America. I was talking to somebody yesterday to find out how is it used in companies where they are working in medical industry, in generator industry. I know in general developers also use it for understanding how they can implement similar ones. The next one could be the IBM one, which gives the Watson assistance. These also have got a great NLP and AI capability. The customization options are available. Industry specific requirements, they will take it and then integrate into the platforms of multiple platforms. The scalability, infrastructure, suitable large scale logistic service operations, probably the Watson assistance is one of the best thing what can be done. And the boot press is also very famous. The boot press use the visual interference. So probably if you want all the freight, how it is moving in terms of like a Google map, show that where my package is. The boot press is one of the best cost effective. Business limited limitations are not there. It's flexible and it's scalable, and therefore it can be one of the best channels which can be looked at. You know, the boot itself, the robot, the bot press, it works like a robot for you. And Amazon Lex is another one which the ChatGPT served Amazon Web Services, AWS, which is very famous, which is used in the services, looking at customer options and build conversation of the interfaces between the customer and the service provider. The Microsoft Boot framework is one which is going to be, I'm sure when you look at the YouTube, a lot of advertisements comes in the Microsoft Boot framework today. Many companies, many private people who learned this and started training people, but we don't have a training as an institute where it is happening. So what happens in India, a lot of private people are training a lot of people by getting a lot of money for them. But as a consolidated effort, as a country, as a company can establish such an institute, I'm sure all these training will come as part of the academics, so that your product from the institute becomes ready for industry and you can directly implement using their support. The Microsoft Azure services provides tools for monitoring, managing the chatbot performances. And RASA, R-A-S-A, is an open source chatbot framework which is coming up with a lot of deployment, enterprise level deployment. The cost effectiveness, reliability, everything has to be checked by users. So seeing this, the selecting a ChatGPT solution for the logistic industry, considering factors of customization, complexity of what is involved in that company, which probably the common people don't understand. You need a beautiful dialogue between them, understand the system perfectly well, understand the scalable process, because you need to have a very good network for handling increased volumes. So therefore, the chat volumes also will increase. The reliability, uninterrupted services, the cost effectiveness, everything with a budgetary without any budgetary constraints to start with. Probably in a long run, look at how much the return on investment you will get. These are all the great recommendations on looking at what a specific business, like what I understood from looking at your website and understanding little bit about the company, what I could suggest and provide to you. Namaskar and pranams. I think I have used my 30 minutes. Namaskar and pranams to each one of you for giving this opportunity, and I consider it's a great opportunity for me to think in terms of what the greatest technology today, the best, most advanced technology can provide as a support to the public use, and probably one of the first such initiative in India. And I salute Tej for such an initiative and calling me for giving a keynote address on this historical conference. Namaskar and pranams from India. Salute.
So thank you so much, sir, for this insightful information and also introducing various reputed institutes in India. And one more special thanks from me that the way you told all the things is very impressive. So thank you so much. And now I would like to welcome our another speaker, Dr. Prashant Singh. So first of all, we would know something about Dr. Prashant Singh. Dr. Prashant Singh, he is doctorate in mechanical engineering and authors of many books. And apart from it, he published many research articles in peer-reviewed journals, successfully completed many government projects, and also served various positions in research and academia. Now we go through about the company he formed, that is Tej Logistic Freight Express Private Limited, which is one of most innovative startup approved by the government of India, which intended to deliver all the consignment across India within a day, which makes it the fastest delivery service provider network. Apart from it, Page Logistic helps people to participate in the import and export business for goods and services both. So let's welcome Dr. Prashant Singh sir to uh, this like to introduce the chat GPT and its practical example in this event. So it's over to Dr. Prashant Singh sir. Welcome sir for our conference.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much, sir, for this valuable information. And I have gone through your content. It is very useful even for the student community, those who want to learn about this. So it's very beautifully explained by you, like that how the AWS implemented our ChatGPT or like the NLP technology. So I would like to present our PPT on the same topic, and now I'm going to present my screen. So first of all, we will see what is the chat GPT, as it is already spoken by the earlier speaker regarding the function of the chat GPT and how does it works. So basically it is the natural language processing technology that is developed by the OpenAI, and it is designed to generate the human-like conversation in response to user input. And basically it is create the virtual assistant, customer service bots, and other conversational interfaces. Using ChatGPT, we can incredibly beneficial for the task requiring a quick turnaround. So we will see how the ChatGPT we will use in our logistic industry. Like that, in logistic industry, we can use it to track the shipment, monitor the inventory, and automate the ordering process, leading to faster response time and better customer service. ChatGPT can provide real-time data insight into the shipping process, enabling companies to make informed decisions and improve their operation. ChatGPT can be used to automate processes such as order fulfillment, delivery, reducing cost and saving time. ChatGPT can reduce human error by automating routine tasks such as tracking shipment and generating invoice. So there is just so many popular AI tools which are the similar to ChatGPT that we are using current date, like Google Bard. It is developed by the Google and then developed by the Meta, LLAMA, Jasper Chat, Bard AI, Lambda, Bing AI, Dialogo GPT. Like this, there is just so many types of Chat GPT tool is already available. So it is audible for is it audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
So we will see something on the chat GPT how it is does it works. Suppose that you can assign the some role to chat GPT and you can talk to chat GPT. Just for example, we will see in supply chain industry, the biggest person and the biggest celebrity we all are know it is CEO, Apple CEO, Tim Cook. So we can assign them as a role like that. Think you are Tim Cook, and then we will see how it responds. Think you are Apple CEO, Tim Cook. So just you have seen, we have assigned them as a role that you are a CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, and then we can ask the question related to the supply chain industry, and it will answer based on how the Apple CEO Tim Cook is thinking. So just ask the some questions like what is the problem of logistic or supply chain in India? Like that we can ask. So how does we improve supply chain operation So the answer we are getting, it is the something is thinking of the Apple CEO Tim Cook. The first one is strengthening partnership, collaborate closely with the local supplier. Those are the very practical and very experienced answer we cannot get easily. So once you assign the role to ChatGPT, based on their previous interview, their education, their past decision, they will take care of everything in account, and based on that experience, they are answering us. So the first thing is that we can assign some role, and by assigning them role, we can ask to perform or answer like based on that personalities. So using ChatGPT, we can do that. The first thing is assigning role is completed, and now we'll go for, you can compare the two companies. So suppose that you want to compare the two companies, you can use the not only ChatGPT, any means tool you use like that. You can use Google Bard. If you want, then you can use the Google Bard. Let's start Google Bard, because the ChatGPT is having data only till 2021, and using Google Bard we can use means track like current data also. Google Bard. Compare the delivery versus DHL versus FedEx company in regular form. Just see how beautiful comparison we have got using the ChatGPT. Just see, delivery started in 2017 and DHL in 1969 and FedEx 1971. The office head office of delivery is in Gurgaon, India, and then DHL is Bonn, Germany, and FedEx is USA. And what are the services is offered by each? So in within very short period, you can get the very specific knowledge by using this type of AI tools. You can ask anything in the tabular format. Suppose that you want to compare the two things, so we can easily calculate this option. They can verify the information whether it is authentic or not. So you can ask, verify this information. This information is correct yes, this information is correct. I have double checked with the knowledge and my knowledge. So it is the correct information. Now we can ask the source of your knowledge. The source of your knowledge. Source of your knowledge. Where did you get this information? Yeah, this knowledge they have collected from the delivery, DHL and FedEx website, and also from the article they have read from the various reputed magazines like the Forbes and then newspaper Wall Street Journal and the Economist. Data from the market research firms such as Statica and the Euromonitor International. So all the information is carried out or the provided by this AI is perfectly correct. We can use those information as in our report or in anywhere in the logistic industry. Suppose that you want to present the some paper and all, so there you can use this information very frequently or very easily you can present it. So now the three things we have already learned, that first we have assigned the role, and the second thing we have already compared the two companies. Similarly, you can compare the two leaders. Suppose that if you want to compare two leaders, then all you can do it like compare Nelson Mandela, Mahatma yeah, we can ask them providing tabular form. So this is the information they have provided in the tabular format. So you can compare any two peoples or any countries also you can compare. Suppose that we want to compare India with China. Compare India versus China economy and supply chain. Supply chain. So just see how they have give comparison. Now we can ask to study the some content. We can ask to study the some content, and based on that we can ask to answer. We can ask to study some content, and based on that we can ask to answer. Suppose that there is a lot of content you are having, and that content you want to be studied by the ChatGPT. Suppose that you can download any research paper. Suppose that supply chain of current trends, current trends. chain management, current trends. We are getting so many things, so we will go on the Google Scholar. Google Scholar, and then we download some research paper and just copy that research paper in the chat GPT and try to get the answer from the chat GPT. Just for example, we are trying to copy some content, and then we will see how the chat GPT will study those things and will verify whether they are providing the correct information or not. Now what we have done, we have just copied the content from the research paper and asked them to provide the 5 point from that content. So what they have did, they just simply read those contents and provide the 5 point from them only. We can also ask to summarize in 100 words. Summarize in 100, 200 words, yeah, 100 words, 100 words. You can also reduce, summarize in 30 words. 30 words. So just see how well it is performing this tool. So we can do it like assign role, we can compare the data, we can ask the information, the tabular form, we can ask to verify the data whether it is authentic or not, or the source is authentic or not, and what is the source of your information. Now as like that we also have asked to study the content and reply the answer based on that content. This is also is done by the chat gpt. And we can also ask to study the website. Suppose that we can ask the some website to study. Suppose that we have suppose that this website we are having and we don't know what is the website, so we'll ask to study the website like. So we can ask to study this website and provide 5 points. Study this website so I think so we are using not the correct prompt for this. Yeah, so this is the information about this website. What is the things is done by the Tej Logistic and what kind of things they have learned. So using this type of things, you can ask to study the some blog, or you can ask to study the website. You can ask to study some report, and based on that, you can summarize the report. Those and all things. If you use those tools, then these tools are can reduce your work as long as you think, or as short or as a means easy can make for you. So it is very important for you to just go through those apps like that bard or though you can also create the image or the video by using those type of app also. And this is the very easy and very means simple way you can do it. Now ask to make the flow chart also. Suppose that the people don't know whether this means tool can make the flow chart or not, so the type of tool can also make the flow chart for you. And basically for the such type of things you have to use very correctly your prompt, otherwise they won't provide the flow chart. So we can ask how to do the person typing provide flow chart. So like this type of information can give you, they can create the flow chart for you. Now you can ask to interview. If you are preparing for the some company, then also you can ask to interview us. Suppose that just you can ask, suppose you are the expert in expert logistic expert and I am preparing for interview interview as a sales executive in logistic company asked me questions.
Thank you so much, Prashant sir, for your valuable time. And dear participants, if you have any questions related to ChatGPT or anything else you want to discuss with sir, so you all can ask. Anyone have any question? Sure. The session recording will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, and I will send the link of our all social medias after the session. Any other queries? Okay. So there is no queries. Okay. So one more thing I also want to tell to you all. Please send your name, father's name, email ID, and the organization in which you are working to the email ID given in chat box. Okay. To get the certificate. So first of all, we would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to our organizing committee who have dedicated countless hours to curate an exceptional lineup of speakers and ensure the smooth execution of this event. Their passion and dedication have truly made this conference a reality. Throughout the conference, we encourage all participants to actively engage in this session. Share your thoughts and questions and connect with fellow attendees. Please make us of the chat box and question answer feature to interact with our speaker and panelists. Lastly, I would like to remind everyone to stay connected with us on social media using our official conference. This will enable us to extend the conference's reach and continue the conversations beyond these virtual walls. Thank you once again for joining us today, and without any further delay, let us proceed. So now we are going to launch the polls. Please attend all polls. And please try to question. Okay, thank you so much to all of you for attending this event, and we will be arranging a lot of conferences, like, so please be connected with us, and please share your all details to our email id poojasinghii88@gmail.com by today, so you will get the conference certificate by tomorrow itself, and the videos will be uploaded within 2 to 3 days. So we'll share the link of the videos and the link of our all social medias. Thank you so much. Thank you once again.